Hello everyone, I'm Captain Logan.
I'm Vince!
And it's time once again
To recommend stuff!
Vince, what do you recommend today?
Today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm recommending steam-powered Giraffe. You ever hear of them?
No.
Oh God, I've become obsessed with these guys over the last few weeks.
All right.
A few weeks ago, I saw posted on Facebook a video by Steam-Powered Giraffe, and it was their song, if I can find the exact title, Automatonic Electronic Harmonics. And
Try saying that 3 times fast.
yeah, and essentially these guys, it's a band of, well, really about 5 guys at a time, but there's 3 people on stage who paint themselves and dress in a very steampunk way and pretend to be robots. Now, I think their music's great, but I think it's really important to start off watching these guys on their YouTube channel and watch some of their music videos, because they're really quite impressive. The amount of physical control they have is really pretty impressive. I mean, we have these 3 characters, and they've developed this whole mythos that goes behind why they're robots, what kind of, or not necessarily what kind of robots they are, but these clockwork men, the Steam Man Band, as they say they used to be called before their creator made the Steam-Powered Giraffe. But
there's a whole storyline involved.
There's this whole bizarre storyline. Now, this idea is that this is a live show that these people do, and it's evolved over the years. I've watched quite a lot of their YouTube stuff. So these guys, essentially, these 3 actors managed to fall on financial hard times, had to drop out of college, and started doing this stuff, and just to get a little cash flowing in. And people liked it, so it kind of took off, and now it's kind of become a thing. And they have 3 albums out right now. They're working on a new album that'll be released at the end of this year or sometime.
Cool.
Sometime this fall. So we have the 2 Cent Show, their second album, and album 1, their first album. 1, 2. And who knew? And their other album's a live album, which I have not purchased yet, but I think their music's quite interesting. I think some of it's very folksy in some ways. It's very jazzy in some ways. It's very vaudevillian in some ways. It's this wonderful presentational type of music that lends itself to the type of show they do. And they don't just do one type of song. They're a little hard to nail down. And therefore, if you put these guys into Pandora, you get like novelty bands like Flight of the Conchords, and then you get things like, oh God, the type of music my wife listens to, which does not help you. I want to say of Monsters and Men, but I'm not sure that's the name of that band. Anyway, they have a lot of like folksy modern music, and then they have a lot of novelty music that plays. So it's hard to nail down what they are, but essentially you have these 3 characters. You have the Spine, you have the John, and you have Rabbit. Not the Rabbit. You have the Spine, the John, and Rabbit. And the John had to leave the group for some reason, so now the guy that's there is this equally as interesting guy, Hatchworth. And Hatchworth has this stovepipe hat, but it's not a stovepipe hat. It's a bowler with a pipe coming out of it.
This all sounds fascinating.
It's really interesting. I highly recommend going to their YouTube channel and checking them out. They have 3 albums available. They have one that's coming very soon. They have a DVD available, which I also have not procured at this moment, but I plan to. And they do live shows. They do a lot of they do steampunk conventions. They do anime conventions. They're doing some kind of, it's happening this summer. I wanted to go to it, but it's going to happen at the same time as something else. What is it called? Oh, Tumblr. They're having some like big Tumblr convention or something like that, which sounded weird to me.
Yeah, that is weird.
But it's kind of like a big geek con that these guys are having a show at. So these guys do a lot of conventions for their shows. They have there's all of their stuff's available on iTunes and Amazon, and they have some other stuff that's available on iTunes and Amazon. Like, for example, they covered Rihanna's Diamonds. And that Diamonds in the Sky song that she does that always irritated the crap out of me. But apparently, when Steam-Powered Giraffe does it, I enjoy it.
I gotta tell you, Vince, I liked it better when you just did it. I thought even that sounded a little better.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah, well done.
But These guys are terrific. It's really interesting. They're funny. They're fun.
Don't go any farther though, or we'll get flagged for copyright.
Too true. You guys owe us royalties.
Sorry.
But yeah, these guys, they're funny, they're interesting, they're just very talented. And the thing that I think the most about these guys, they're all vocally talented. But the Spine resonates with me quite a lot because he has this ability to switch from bass to his upper register. And if you listen to that Diamond song, which is also available to watch the music video on YouTube, it demonstrates just how amazing his voice is, and he can switch back and forth. Now, all three of these guys, even after the John left the group, and then you have Hatchworth who took his place, all three of these guys managed to kind of step into the spotlight and do their own songs. And the songs that I would highly recommend looking up the video for, Diamonds. I also highly recommend looking up Honeybee, which is not where I started, but I thought the I'm going to get it right. Automatonic Electronic Harmonics song, which is really interesting and does showcase their talent. But I think if you watch Honeybee, it really, really shows off their ability to be robots. These guys are amazingly talented. So I highly recommend Steve Power Giraffe. Guys, check them out.
That sounds like a really fascinating mix of styles from different eras.
Yeah, and the conceit is that the robots were all made in different eras, so
okay, cool.
They kind of come together in just the right way.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Yeah, you sold me on that. I'm definitely gonna check that out.
Yeah, Steam Power Giraffe, their YouTube channel's phenomenal. Buy their stuff; it's totally worth it.
Yeah, thanks a lot for suggesting that. That sounds really neat. Today, I'd like to recommend a reference book for folks that want to brush up on their grammar and their language skills, folks that do some writing. This is probably one of the best books to have in your library to help you out with your grammar, but also with your ability to write with effective language. This is not a creative writing book. This is a book that is helpful for any kind of writing that you do in the technical language department. This is The Elements of Style by William Strunk and E.B. White, of all people. And this book, you might be familiar with this. This certainly is something that pops up, I think, still in colleges and maybe even high schools. I'd love to see high schools still using this. And this was first published in the mid-50s, and this is the third edition from, I want to say, 71, 72, and, 79, and, this is a really concise little book. It's very quick to read, and believe it or not, this doesn't read terrible cover to cover. I know that sounds bizarre. You wouldn't think you would do that, and it's more reference material than anything. But what I like about White's language, and of course Strunk adding to it, is that it goes through and gives you just very quick rules, examples, and it moves on. It doesn't sit on anything. It doesn't take like a lot of textbooks, paragraphs and paragraphs to explain things to you. It says it's very matter of fact about it and almost snarky about it, which is kind of fun. And it's very much like okay, here's a rule. And now do that from now on. And then it just moves on. Here's the right way to do it. Here's the wrong way to do it. Move on. It really simplifies the rules and it makes things seem a lot less complicated than even perhaps they really are. I don't mean to say that it oversimplifies things. It just puts them in terms that if you're not great at English, this would probably help you figure out things a little bit better. Of course, it's in 50s to 70s, especially 50s. More kind of language and colloquialisms, but not difficult to get through at all. The first part of it's in three parts. The first part of it is just elementary rules of usage. That's just the grammatical stuff. Here's how you use these kinds of words in the right way, and punctuation, and those sorts of things. And then in the middle of it, it's the principles of composition, which is mostly about effective writing. Things like use the active voice, not the passive voice, that kind of stuff. And then you get to the end of it, and it's misused words and expressions, which is really helpful in Twitter culture. I would not be surprised if there weren't bits of this that aren't technically a little bit outdated now, but most of the rules have not changed. Most of this is still the way you would want to do things, and obviously formal writing is different from conversational writing, and so how you use language depends on the kind of thing you're writing, and you want to keep that in mind when you're looking at something like this. But this keeps that in mind itself, you know. So anyway. Let me see if I can come up with some fun examples of the misused words, because I like this. Oh yeah, then versus then. You know,
yeah.
the then with the A versus the one with the E. So, avoid in writing the use of so as an intensifier. So good, so warm, so delightful. Usually you just don't need that. What else? I should have put a couple notes in here, because there were a couple I wanted to mention, and I'm not remembering them right now. Respective versus respectively. Refer, see, allude. Let's see here. Memento, often incorrectly written memento. Yep, that's still true. Nature, often simply redundant, used like character. Acts of a hostile nature versus hostile acts. Yeah. So again, it's about being effective. It's about using brevity. This is certainly a book that I should be using even quite a bit more often than I am, because brevity is an issue I have both in conversational speaking and in writing. I tend to write sentences with far more words than I need to, and when I write, say, a Superhero Rewind or something like that, if you think those are long, you should see the original drafts of them, because they always start off a lot longer. I tend to buy into the idea of see if you can cut 20% after you write anything. I try to do that when I can. Except when I'm in a hurry, and that makes it a lot harder.
What's the saying about brevity?
Yeah.
Like brevity is the soul of wit, or something like that?
That's exactly it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Indeed.
There just usually are faster ways to say anything that you're wanting to say, and oftentimes the faster way to say it is actually the more effective way, because you're not like muddling it up with useless words, so it makes your message clear. Because what is language for if not communication? And that's important. That's why you have rules of grammar. You know, that's why you have rules of language, is so that everybody can communicate effectively. And that's why it's important that we use the right spellings of things and that kind of thing. Some people think it's prudish that you know, well, as long as you understand, it shouldn't matter if I do it wrong. But if you do it right, it's more likely that someone will understand it. So,
anyway. You know, I just want to say this because I think this is fun.
Yeah.
I was talking to this guy the other day, and I made a quick joke, and he looked at me and he's like, "What are you trying to say?" And I said, "Oh, forgive me, I'm just being facetious." And he said, "What?" Facetious. And he said, "Why would you say that?" So I explained to him what the word meant.
Right.
And then he said, "Why didn't you just say that?" And I said,
because it takes longer and there's a word for it?
Yeah, like, how about you just come with me on this little journey called the English language, and if you don't know what a word means, don't be embarrassed, just ask, and then we can move on.
Yeah. Yeah, it does bug me when people get offended because you use...
Yeah.
And it's different than just using big words to make people feel bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you weren't trying to make the guy feel bad.
Yeah, what I said to him, because then I said this, and the joke was that I was trying to make him feel bad. He said, "Why didn't you just say that?" I said, "Because I was overestimating you, Brandon." Not the Brandon that's been on our show.
I'm glad you clarified that, because I'm pretty sure Brandon knows what facetious means.
But this Brandon's not a bad guy. I just wanted to say that to him. I said, "Because I was overestimating you, Brandon." And he's like, "Screw you, dude." And I said, "Indeed, right back at you."
Well, anyway, that's what I had to recommend, and hopefully that's useful for folks. If you, again, if you need some help with your overall effectiveness of your writing, and be sure to check out Steam-Powered Giraffe.
Steam-Powered Giraffe, oh boy!
Thanks, as always, for watching, and we'll recommend something for you once again next week. I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Vince!
See you later. Would you like me to be someone else?
I could try to be not me for moment for now.
Okay.
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 Can I have a sandwich?
You can have sandwich after we finish eating sandwich.
Wait. Does that mean I am having seconds, or is this a new meal?
It is a new meal. It is lunch after lunch.
But I have not finished breakfast.